All right, Sports Inquirer here with Blake Carroll, linebacker for Georgia State football. Blake, how's offseason been? How have you been getting ready for this upcoming season?
Working out, staying in the gym, of course, running. I feel like a little bit last year I was kind of overweight personally. So I've been focusing on getting back down to that my playing weight, 225, 230 range. Team-wise, we've been grinding it out, getting the young guys, more reps, more mental reps. Anyway, we want more depth going into this fall, so that's what we've been focusing on.
Now you're coming into your super senior year, so you've had multiple off seasons coming into a year. Was that just something maturation, maturity, seeing that last season was a little bit not where you wanted to be, and then coming into this year, is that just being a factor of being an experienced player at this stage?
Yep, pretty much. I went back and watched all the games from 2020, my first year starting, and then 2021. So I just could tell the difference of my movements and my game speed. I feel like I played faster in 2020, so I want to get back down to that weight I was at.
Yeah, and I asked Malik this, and I asked you this also. But this offseason seemed more consistent with what's expected as far as the offseason compared to what we've been going on over the past few years.
Yeah.
Does this seem more like a traditional football offseason with your spring and then the summer?
It does. COVID kind of messed everything up, so it felt weird, but I'm glad that everything's getting back to normal with us anyway, And then with us having, older guys, it's kind of, we know we've been here, done that. We've been through it all, so we know how to get it back to how it was anyway.
Yeah, and I'm sure you had opportunity to move on, whether to another school or graduate or professional. What led you to come back for another season with the Panthers?
The opportunity to win a Sun Belt championship. That's straight like that. That's the only answer.
Yeah. And what about the division? I mean, I'm talking with Malik. You guys were one win away from being in a championship game last year. What do you take from that and being competitive with App State and Coastal and nationally ranked teams and you being right there with them?
I just feel like we can compete with anybody. We know we can compete with anybody. Our biggest thing is finishing games this year, and that's what we plan on doing. That's our focus. We want to finish games. We want to out tough people. And we want to beat on people.
Yeah, and obviously Nate came back for another season as your defensive coordinator. What's that relationship like, having him back for another year and just building on that continuity?
Excuse me. I'm glad that Nate is my coach Fuqua is back because he has that trust in us. He trusts that we're gonna go do our job to our best abilities. And when you have that trust between you and your coach, and y'all have good communication, y'all on one accord, then the whole defense is. So I'm just glad, that's the case.
Yeah, and you're recognized all-conference first team preseason today. What does that mean for you, just individually, and as a team? And Artavius was also, I think, named all-conference as well. So what does it mean for you individually, getting that recognition, and then for the team in general, the defensive side, getting that respect?
I mean, personally, I'm happy about it, but at the same time, I'm ready to go play ball. I feel like at the same time, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tell you, I feel like I should have been preseason defensive player of the year, but I wasn't. It's okay. I'm ready to go put the pads on the shoulders. People I can do personally. My defense-wise, or team-wise, we got a little bit more respect than what we used to, but it doesn't never mean nothing. It's preseason, so.
I see the motivation there with that. But you actually acknowledge it. Do you guys look at, I've been hearing guys all day. Some say they don't look at the preseason stuff. You actually acknowledge that. It's like, how do you handle that as just a player and balancing that energy as you get into a year?
I would say from me personally, it was expected. Like, it's expected from me to be, first team everything or whatever the case may be. But that's not the goal. The goal is to win. And that's what I'm really here for. I want a Sun Belt championship.
Yeah, and we're not recording this, but you came in, you have your two bowl championship rings. What does that message say, or does that just remind you just what the program has come from and where it's at right now when you put those rings on?
Yeah, it does remind me of where we came from, but it also is symbolize that we come from more. We want more than just these regular ball games. We want a championship.
Yeah. And where do you see the team? Obviously, you want to win every game and do all that stuff. But where do you see the team at? What steps you have to take to achieve those ultimate goals, finishing with a winning record, putting yourself in championship contention? What will the team have to do?
I feel like we have everything: personnel, players, coaches. Scheme wise, we have everything. It comes down to the mentality of the game and how people approach the game and how people prepare for the game. So as long as we prepare for every game, I know we're gonna come fight in every game. We're gonna come play football every game. So we just gotta take that next step and get over the hump of giving up fights at the end of the game. Pretty much.